माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोधानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोधानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, Text number 2. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Dikshita Brahma Satrena Sarva Bhutatma Medhasa Pratichyam Dishi Velayam Siddho Bhutyatra Jajalihi. Dikshita Brahma Satrena Sarva Bhutatma Medhasa Pratichyam Dishi Velayam Siddho Bhutyatra Jajalihi. Dikshita Brahma Satrena Sarva Bhutatma Medhasa Pratichyam Dishi Velayam Siddho Bhutyatra Jajalihi. Dikshita Brahma Satrena Sarva Bhutatma Medhasa Pratityam Dushivelayam Siddho Bodhyatra Jajalihi Dikshita Brahma Satrena Sarva Bhutatma Medhasa Pratityam Dishivelayam Siddho Bodhyatra Jajalihi. Mataji? Dikshita Brahma Satrena Sarva Bhutatma Medhasa Pratityam Dishivelayam Siddho Bodhyatra Jajalihi. Dikshitaha, being determined. Brahma Satrena, by understanding of the Supreme Spirit. Sarva, all. Bhuta, living entities. Atmamedasa, considering like one's self. Pratityam, in the western. Dishi, direction. Velayam, on the seashore. Siddha, perfect. Abhut, became. Yatra, where. Jajalihi, the great sage Jajali. The Prachetas went to the seashore in the west, where the great liberated sage Jajali was residing. After perfecting the spiritual knowledge, by which one becomes equal towards all living entities, the Prachetas became perfect in Krishna consciousness. The word Brahmasatra means cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Actually, both the Vedas and severe austerity are known as Brahma. Vedas Tattvam Tapo Brahma. Brahma also means the absolute truth. One has to cultivate knowledge of the absolute truth by pursuing studies in the Vedas and undergoing severe austerities and penances. The Prachetas properly executed this function and consequently became equal to all other living entities. As Bhagavad Gita confirms, Brahma Bhutaha Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. When one actually becomes spiritually advanced, he does not see the difference between one living entity and another. This platform is attained by determination. When perfect knowledge is expanded, one ceases to see the outward covering of the living entity. He sees rather the spirit soul within the body. Thus, he does not make distinctions between a human being and an animal, a learned Brahmana and a Chandala. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaivashvapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater outcast. A learned person sees everyone equally on a spiritual basis. And a learned person, a devotee, wants to see everyone developed in Krishna consciousness. The place where the Prachetas were residing was perfect for executing spiritual activities, for it is indicated that the great sage Jajali attained mukti there. One desiring perfection or liberation should associate with a person who is already liberated. This is called sadhu sangha, associating with a perfect devotee. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakambalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादे पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna, we welcome you all to the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class today. Today we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 31. Narada instructs the Prachetas. So Prachetas are so fortunate. First of all, they got association of Lord Shiva. And without causeless mercy. Lord Shiva's association was causeless. Lord Shiva just happened to come there and then give association, give mantra. And they perfected their meditation in the water, chanted the Rudra Gita. And second mercy was they attained the darshan of Lord Vishnu. And then the Lord Vishnu instructed them to rule the kingdom. They came back and then they started ruling the kingdom. Right? They married Marisha and they got Daksha as a child, and who is also devotee. And now the time is coming to retire. Retirement time. And when they are retiring, again they get association of another Mahabhagat, which is Narada Muni. So association of devotees is most essential. Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kaya, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hai. At every stage in life, we require association. Initially, we get association of some devotee, then he brings us to a certain level, right? And then some other devotees come and they push us further in Krishna consciousness, they inspire us. When we sincerely practice Krishna consciousness and we are sincerely desiring to advance in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will send devotees in our life to help us go further in Krishna consciousness. Dhruva Maharaj wanted to attain Lord, and he was desire was very strong to attain the Lord. And who came in between? Narada came. The Lord inspired Narada, go, Dhruva, my devotee, he is in need of help, so go and help him. Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. And by the will of the Lord, Shukadeva Goswami happened to come there. So suddenly, out of the blue, he appeared there because Lord inspired him. So the Lord, seeing the sincere desire, the need of a devotee, sends a pure devotee in our life who will give solution to the problems of our life. At Parikshit Maharaj had a problem. He was cursed to die in 7 days. So he was asking everybody, what should I do? What should I think? What should I speak? What should I hear? What should I meditate on? Shukadeva Goswami, the right person, came there. Similarly, in the third canto, Devahuti was completely frustrated. Nirvinna nitaram bhuman asad indriya darshana dena sambhavya manena prapannanda prabho. She is telling that she was drowning in the ocean of material existence and she was quite frustrated with material world. Nirvinna nitaram bhuman. So at that time, Sakchakshur janmanamante labdhame tad anugrahat. She is saying that, hey Kapila, my son, you have come to me. So now please instruct me. You are like my transcendental eyes. So Devavati surrendered to her son Kapila, and Kapila Deva instructed Devavati and enlightened. So it goes to show that when there is a sincere sadhaka, then Krishna sends a appropriate guru to uplift him. So here Prachetas, they are sincere. They want to continue their Krishna consciousness and attain perfection. So Narada is again coming. Because Prachetas, as you'll read further, they will say, we got association of Lord Shiva, we got association of Lord Vishnu, but we have forgotten all those things now. Literally they say like this. Because we become so busy in material affairs, ruling the kingdom and materialistic duties, we have literally forgotten everything. Please, again, instruct us. So, and that's the nature of material world, isn't it? Today we hear Bhagavatam, tomorrow we forget. Again, day after tomorrow we hear, again we forget. We keep forgetting, isn't it? Although hearing so many times, we don't take Krishna consciousness seriously. So that is an offense. Right? It's also an offense. What is the 10th offense? Right? To not have faith in the holy name, even after hearing so many instructions. Shrutvepi nama mahatmyam yaha priti rahito naraha. नाम महिमा सुनने के बाद भी श्रुत्वेपि नाम महात्म्यम यह प्रीति रहितो न रहा, उसको हरिनाम के बारे में थोड़ा प्रेम नहीं है. देयर इज नो टेस्ट फॉर चैंटिंग द होली नेम. दैट इज आल्सो अपराध. सो वी हियर भागवतम सो मेनी टाइम्स, वी एवरी डे वी हियर द होली नेम्स, बट somehow still if the transformation is not happening, then that's because of offenses. So we should try to hear, and we should try to remember. Right? There are many devotees who hear, but somehow they don't remember things. Why they don't remember? Huh? Okay, you are not repeating that word to others. Yeah. Because we are only hearing, but we are not repeating. When you repeat, when you share with others, you remember it. If you use it, you will preserve it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. That's the point. Anything you use, a car, if you have a nice car, if you keep using it, it will be well maintained. But if you keep it 2 months in one place, after 2 months you open the car, you will see inside there will be some rats. I had one devotee had parked a car nearby. One day he started, put his engine ignition on, nothing is happening, no sound coming. It's not lighting. Then he called a mechanic. Then he saw some rats have cut the wires. Because he was not using it for months. So anything which you keep using it, like well water. If you don't use it, the well water becomes stagnated and the water gets spoilt. Kharab ho jata hai. But the well which is constantly being used, you keep removing the water and fresh water starts filling it. So it always remains fresh. ऐसे बोला है ना, बहता पानी and रमता साधु. Right? बहता पानी मतलब water which is flowing is always clean, and water which is stagnant may get decayed. And a sadhu should also not stay in one place, otherwise he'll become attached. Right? My room, my table, my locker, my post, my position. So sadhu should ramta, no? He should be traveling, right? So that's why sannyasis are told, don't stay in one place. No? Every 3 days, go to different place. So there's no chance of attachment. So one should keep. So point is that knowledge also is like that. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So that's why we should keep sharing. So that's why every day we should make a point that we share something with others, some Krishna conscious thing. That hearing is good, but unless you share it, you will not be able to remember it or contemplate on it. So that's why preaching is also very important, because when you preach to others, you are forced to think of the philosophy. You are forced to think of Krishna. So preaching is helpful. And when you preach, you get questions, then you have to answer them. Sometimes you don't know what is the answers. You have to go and refer. You have to read more. You have to consult senior devotees. So in that way, what happens? Our own Krishna consciousness improves. So here Prachetas, they got this uh, association of Narada, as you will see. It will come in the further verses. So Dikshita Brahmasatrena Sarvabhut Atmamedasa. So here it is said Atmamedasa means considering like oneself. Sarvabhuta, Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma, Bhagavad Gita also it is said. Considering everybody like oneself. Everybody is spirit, soul. So that's this consciousness. Seeing everybody on the equal platform, right? Seeing a dog, a cat, elephant, a man, a brahmana on the same platform. So, and they were determined to understand the supreme soul, Brahma Satrena. Sarvabhuta Atma Medasa. So they saw everybody as themselves, as spirit souls. Pratityam, Disham, they went to the western. Generally, when person wants to attain liberation, he goes towards north, Uttara Disha. Right? North means going to Kashi, going to Himalayas. Right? When the Pandavas also, they left the kingdom, they went to which direction? Himalayas. They went to the high Mahaprasthana, the great walk. So they went to the northern direction. But here they are going to the western direction. So for devotees, it doesn't matter whether you go east, west, north, south, doesn't matter. You go to a holy place. Right? You go to a holy place where sadhus are there, where devotees are chanting the holy names. And again, Prabhupada went to the west. He didn't go north or east, he went to the west to preach. And west is considered to be, bad direction. Right? But they went to the, generally we, when according to Vastu, east is most favored. East and north are most favored. But here they are going to the west. Because in west also there is a holy place. There's Sindhu river and there's Prabhas Kshetra, which is now in Pakistan. But it's a very holy place. We see that Hari Ashwas and Chaval Ashwas, they also go to the west. Right? Sons of Daksha, you'll read in the 6th canto that Hari Ashwas and Chaval Ashwas, 10,000 plus 1,000 children, they went to the Pravasa Kshetra to do tapasya, and there they met again Narada Muni. And Narada Muni delivered all of them. So, wherever sadhu is there, that's the place where we can get deliverance. So that's why we should come to ISKCON temples, where Srila Prabhupada is there, a great sadhu, and we take his shelter of his books, then we can attain liberation. Right? So generally people think, हमको Vrindavan जाना है, Vrindavan जाके उधर ही रहेंगे. Right? But if you go there and just live like an ordinary tourist, so what do you use? People will not be able to take benefit. Some people go all the way to Kumbh Mela just to take a dip. And people went this Mahakumbha last year. They traveled thousands of miles just to take that 5 minutes dip. And then they took return ticket and came back. They didn't associate with devotees. They didn't do any service to the dham. They did not hear Krishna Katha. They did not chant the holy names. Right? Kumbh mein jana hai kyun? Pap dho ke aana hai. Let me remove all my sins. Then again I will go after another 4 years. Again another Kumbh will come and go. 4 साल का पाप धो के फिर से आएंगे ना. So what is the use of this Hathi Snan? Manye Kunjara Sauchavat. So when you associate with devotees, that is much better than Ganga Snan also. Right? Gangara Sparasha Hoile Paschate Pavana Darshane Pavitra Koro Ye Tomara Guna. Right? After touching Ganga, you will become purified. But a devotee is so powerful that just by seeing him, you get purified. Darshane Pavitra Koro Ye Tomara Guna. So that's why Lord Chaitanya's devotees are not ordinary. Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane. Right? Acharya is saying that one devotee of Lord Chaitanya can deliver one Brahmanda. So that's how Devakinanda's Thakur glorifies the power of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is true also. You can see Srila Prabhupada, he delivered the entire world, expanded Krishna consciousness, made so many devotees, so many books. So many centers. So Brahmanda Tarite. Not just Earth, but Brahmanda. We're talking about Brahmanda, all the 14 lokas. I can deliver. So now let's discuss about one such devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Today is the appearance day of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Okay. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was born in Navadvip to Narayani Devi. Narayani was the niece of Shiva's Thakur. You know Shiva's Thakur? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva's Thakur. There were 5 brothers. Shivas, Sripati, Srinidhi, like these are Sri Ram, total 5. So one of the elder brothers' daughter was Narayani. And Narayani was born in Navadvip and she was staying in Mamgachi. Okay. After marriage, she was staying in Mamgachi. But before that, she was in the home of Shiva's Thakur. I think she was born in the home of Malini Devi only, in the Shiva's Angan. So, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip, in the initial years, he did not start Sankirtan. He was a Pandit, Nema Pandit. So when his father passed away, he went to Gaya and there he met his great spiritual master, who is Ishwarapuri. And after meeting Ishwarapuri, he got Diksha Mantra and he started exhibiting the symptoms of a devotee. So when he came back from Gaya, he was different. He was a devotee of Lord Krishna. And he was constantly chanting the holy names. And he was crying in separation from Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So once Gadadhar said, Krishna is in your heart. And Lord Chaitanya started tearing his heart, chest, to find where is Krishna. Gadadhar said, oh, don't do this, don't do this. So he controlled Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, in this way, Lord Chaitanya was exhibiting the transcendental ecstasies of separation from Krishna, which is the mode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani's mode. What is Radharani's mode? She is in constant separation from Krishna because Krishna has gone to Vrindavan, has left Vrindavan and is constantly searching for Krishna. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his Sankirtan movement at that time, when he used to do Kirtan in Shiva Sangan, at that time, once he gave Mahaprasad, his own Mahaprasad. Lord Chaitanya used to eat betel nut and tambul. And that betel he used to give to Narayani. And Narayani used to eat that. So direct Mahaprasad, from his mouth he will give it to Narayani. And Narayani was just 4 years old, small girl. And when she got the prasad of Mahaprabhu, she got purified. She got very much blessed. And when once Lord Chaitanya said, Narayani, chant Hari. Then Narayani started chanting Hari, Hari, Hari. It started crying in ecstasy, tears in her eyes, rolling on the ground. And everybody was amazed to see the ecstasy which Narayani Devi was exhibiting. So, after Lord gave blessings to Narayani, within 2 years, 1 or 2 years, Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. So, after taking sannyas, Lord Chaitanya went to Jagannath Puri, right? And Jagannath Puri stayed for 18 years, and then after that, he went to South India. Right? Of course, in the first year of going to Puri, only he went to South India. And then after next trip, he went to Vrindavan. Right? And while, of course, another trip, he went to Ramkeli. So while going on the way, he used to meet Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. So, but he never met Narayani later on. So after a couple of years, Narayani got married. It's not mentioned to whom she got married to. The parental details are not given. But she married to a very nice person in Navadvip, Shri Radha Vinod Ji ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Bole Sudhar Maharani ki jai, Shri Shri Gaurnita ki jai. And when she was pregnant with the child in the womb, father died, husband died. So Vrindavan Das Thakur was born to Narayani. And because she was without a husband, so she was staying in Mamgachi and she was serving Vasudeva Datta. The deities of Srila Vasudeva Datta, she was taking care and she was maintaining by the mercy of Vasudeva Datta. And also Vrindavan Das Thakur was personally tutored by Vasudeva Datta and Mukunda Datta. Right? Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Ghoshadikaya. Right? Of course, there are Vasu Ghosh, but there is Vasudeva Datta also, the devotees of Navadvip. So Vrindavan Das Thakur personally learned from Vasudeva and then he became a very great scholar. And he also became a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he was constantly hearing Chaitanya Leela, especially the Navadvip Leela, his pastimes in Shiva Sangan, his pastimes in Yoga Peeth, his Sankirtan Leela, his Panditya Leela on the banks of Ganga. So he grew up hearing all these wonderful pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at certain time, he was told, can you please write a book about all the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So then he started composing. When he was about the age of 30, he started composing Chaitanya Bhagavat. And Chaitanya Bhagavat became the masterpiece book about Chaitanya Leela, especially Adi Leela and Madhya Leela. So Adi Leela is quite elaborate in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So it is said that he started writing so elaborately that the Grantha became so big. So the later pastimes he just condensed it, summarized it. Because generally when people see the size of the book, then they consider whether to read or not. If the book is small size, immediately people take and read. But if this is big size, people are afraid, no? Especially when you show Bhagavatam to people, full box of books, people get afraid, इतना कैसे पढ़ेंगे हम? एक छोटा book दे दो, then they take Science of Self-Realization or something like that. And when they get taste in reading those small books, then they may buy Bhagavatam later on, isn't it? So Vrindavan Das Thakur started compose Chaitanya Bhagavat, which was initially called as Chaitanya Mangal. How do we know that? Because Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he refers to Chaitanya Bhagavat as Chaitanya Mangala. So that's the reference which we have. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami glorifies Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Generally, we don't see one author glorifying another author. Generally, they are envious. Your book is more popular than me. How can that be? You try to blaspheme others. But here you will see the Vaishnava etiquette. In Vaishnavism, a devotee is not envious. If somebody else is more successful than him, then he becomes happy seeing other success. If somebody is doing better preaching than me, then we should become happy seeing others preaching. If somebody is giving better classes than me, we should be happy seeing others classes. So if somebody is doing more service than me, we should be happy seeing them doing, and we should get inspired. Okay, let me also do something better, isn't it? So if you see somebody chanting more rounds, anything, we can get inspiration, not become jealous or envious. And generally the jealousy or enviousness may come when the skills are matching. Like one cricketer may envy another cricketer, and one cricketer will not envy another football player. They'll appreciate it, बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो. But in same field there is envy. So similarly, one book distributor may envy other book distributor. तुम मुझसे ज़्यादा करते हो, आपका नाम ज़्यादा अनाउंस होता है टेम्पल में. So one way you go envious. Or two youth preachers may feel envy, or two pujaris may feel envy. अरे तुम्हारा डेकोरेशन बहुत प्रसिद्ध हो गया, मेरा नहीं हुआ. So even in spiritual way, spiritual services, envy may come because of material outlook. As long as we have a material outlook, envy will come. So that's why one should try to give up envy and try to appreciate others. And my Guru Maharaj says that just by appreciating others, you can go back home, back to Godhead. He has given one whole lecture on this, saying that just appreciate others and you'll go back home, back to Godhead. And that's what is Chaitanya Leela. What devotees are doing in Chaitanya Leela? They are appreciating each other. What they are appreciating? Not material qualities. They are appreciating their devotional qualities. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will glorify Rupa Goswami, he will glorify as if he has 5 mouths or hundreds of mouths. That's how he will glorify. So in glorifying others, one should be liberal. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard his own glories, he will plug his ears and say Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. So don't hear your own glories, but glorify others. And don't speak your own glories. It is said that if somebody speaks his own glories, मैंने ये किया है, मैंने वो किया है, actually he is destroying his punya which he has acquired. So one should not glorify himself. One should glorify others. When you glorify others, others' qualities will come to you. But if somebody glorifies his own, मैंने इतना बड़ा service किया है, so sometimes people are so proud. They proudly say, मैंने ये किया है, मैंने वो किया है, मंदिर के लिए किया है, वो किया है. Actually, they are destroying their punya. They don't know, but certainly they are destroying their punya, good work which they are doing. So that's why when you do something good, don't speak it to others. Keep doing good. Don't speak to others. Keep doing good. Krishna will recognize it. But when others do something good and you observe it, प्रभु जी आज इस भक्त ने ऐसा किया, इतना अच्छा सेवा किया है, इसने पॉट वॉशिंग किया है, इसने महाक्लीनिंग किया है, कीप ग्लोरीफाइंग. But one's own thing we should not glorify. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is actually glorifying Vrindavan Das Thakur. I think it's 8th chapter. Adi Leela, 8th chapter. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ore Muda Lokashuna Chaitanya Mangala Chaitanya Mahima Yate Janibe Sakala. Ore Mudha Loka hai, foolish people. Shuno Chaitanya Mangal. Please hear Chaitanya Mangala. Chaitanya Mahima Yate Janibe Sakala. By reading Chaitanya Mangal, you can understand Chaitanya's Mahima, all the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam was originally entitled Sri Chaitanya Mangal. But when Sri Lochan Das Thakur later wrote another book named Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur changed the name of his own book, which is now therefore known as Chaitanya Bhagavatam. See? So one is right to change the name also. He's not telling you, मैंने already book लिया, तुम change करो नाम नहीं. I'll change my name. So such wonderful qualities devotees exhibit. The life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very elaborately described in Chaitanya Bhagavatam, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has already informed us that in this Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita he has described whatever Vrindavan Das Thakur has not mentioned. This acceptance of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami indicates his acceptance of disciplic succession. A writer of transcendental literature never tries to surpass the previous acharyas. Very important etiquette. Somebody says that I know better than the previous acharyas, he is a fool. Once Vallabha he came to Sarup Damodar Goswami and he told, I have written Bhagavatam commentary. Please show this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this commentary is better than Sridhar Swami's. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya heard this. He was very angry. He said, anybody who says that he is better than Sridhar Swami, he is a prostitute. Right on the face, he smashed him. And Vallabha was like, shocked. He chastised me. And that a heavy chastisement in public. Because sometimes it is required. Chastisement. Sometimes if a person makes mistakes, and if you don't chastise, he will continue making the mistakes because it doesn't realize. And especially when pride is there in the heart, pride can be only Pride can go away only by heavy chastisement. So dambam mahat seva. It is said that if somebody is proud, then he should go to senior devotees, serve them, because they will thoroughly powder the pride. So Chaitanya Prabhu heavily chastised Vallabha Bhatta, and then he became humbled. Then he realized his mistake. So then he came back and said, I accept that I have made mistakes. So then he changed his commentary and aligned it in the line with Sridhar Swami. And who is Sridhar Swami? He is the first commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to regularly read the commentaries of Sridhar Swami. So one should not surpass the previous acharyas, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is following this etiquette. Because Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita later, after many decades. He wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita in the end of his life, when he was very old. And he wrote in Vrindavan. Because Chaitanya Bhagavat, when it was written, it became very famous, very popular. It became, everybody was reading Chaitanya Bhagavat. Many copies were getting copied, and they were reading. Even up to Vrindavan, people were reading Chaitanya Bhagavat. But in Vrindavan, when devotees saw that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has come, they requested, see, we have heard only Chaitanya Bhagavat, which contains details of Navadip Leela, but we have not heard Shesha Leela, his Sannyas Leela. So can you please write? Because you have heard from Raghunath Das Goswami, daily you heard lecture from Raghunath Das Goswami in Radhakund, and Raghunath Das Goswami was personally witnessing all the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. So you have heard all of that, you please write. Then when he got the order, he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he is admitting that I am writing only those pastimes which Vrindavan Das Thakur has not written. So that's why you will see Adi Leela is heavy philosophical. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela is heavily philosophical, and many Sannyas Leela pastimes also come in Adi Leela only. Like Prakashananda Saraswati debate. That is already put in Adi Leela. Some pastimes are already there. So Shesh Leela, means Anti Leela, post Sannyas Leela, is elaborately described by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And some pastimes he has just touched or mentioned, which Vrindavan Das Thakur has already written. He writes, this Kazi Leela, Kazi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's debate, okay, that is already explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat, you please refer to Chaitanya Bhagavat. Like this, he just writes and then goes ahead. So that's how he is offering his respects to previous acharyas also. Krishna Leela Bhagavate Kahe Vedavyas, Chaitanya Leela Ravyas Vrindavana Das. Right? Vedavyasa has written Krishna Leela in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Leela is written by Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavat. So actually Vrindavan Das Thakur is also an avatar of Vyasadeva. He is actually Vyasadeva come again. Vrindavana Dasa Kaila Chaitanya Mangal, Yahara Shravane Nashe Sarva Amangal. Vrindavan Das has written Chaitanya Mangal. By hearing that, one will destroy all amangal, sarva amangal. All hearing this book annihilates all misfortune. Actually, hearing Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita every day morning actually is destroying all inauspicious things in our life. And Bhagyodaya, what is that? Symptoms of bhakti? Shubhada, all good qualities, good things happen in life. Bad, inauspicious things will be destroyed by hearing the holy name and the holy fame of the Lord. Chaitanya Nitairayate Janiye Mahima, Yate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhante Rasima. By reading Chaitanya Mangal, one can understand all the glories and truths of Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, and come to the ultimate conclusion of devotional service to Lord Krishna. One point to note here is that Vrindavan Das Thakur never saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because after sannyas, Lord Chaitanya went to Puri, so he never met him. And Vrindavan Das Thakur wanted to take initiation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he could never meet. And Lord Chaitanya ended his pastimes. And later on, Nityanand Prabhu came to which place? He came back to Kardaha, and he stayed there and he was preaching. near Ekachakra, Kardaha, that area was preaching. So at that time, Vrindavan Thakur came to Nityananda and took initiation from Nityananda Prabhu. So both Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Vrindavan Das Thakur are disciples of Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu empowered them, both of them, to write Krishna Leela, Chaitanya Leela. So, and it is said that Nityananda Prabhu's wife, Janva Devi, was also living. At once Nityananda Prabhu ended his pastimes, and Janva Devi became the leader of the whole community. And Janva Devi arranged the first Gaur Purnima festival in Kheturi with the help of Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur invited everybody. And Janva Devi, while going to Kheturi via Bengal, she came to Mamgachi and took Vrindavan Das Thakur with her, and then went to Kheturi, and they celebrated the first Gaur Purnima festival. Prabhupada is writing about Srimad Bhagavatam. भागवते यत भक्ति सिद्धांत रसार लिखिया छे ना इहा जानी करिय उद्धार. In Sri Chaitanya Mangala, later known as Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur has given the conclusion and essence of devotional service by quoting the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mangala Shune Yadi Pashandi Yavana Seha Maha Vaishnava Hayata Takshana. Yes, Bengali समझ में आता है ना? Bengali आप. So Chaitanya Mangal Shune Yadi Pashandi Yavan. See, this is so wonderful. When Prabhupada went to America and he told about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people accepted him as God. But when in India we say Lord Chaitanya is God, people question, really? Because people in the West, because they are like clean slate, they could receive the mercy of Chaitanya Nitai. And they are so mad. You hear about one Mataji who was always carrying Gaur Nitai. What is her name? Kirtida Mataji? Disciple of Srila Prabhupada? Forgot her name. She used to constantly, and somehow they were doing Sankirtan on the streets, and then they caught her, and then police caught her. We can't do this, and then they are taken to jail. And in jail also, Gaurnita will come, they will worship in the day. Right? So, since this, they had such faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu because they heard Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? They became Maha Vaishnava, Tatakshana. Very quickly they became great devotees. Ladini Mataji, now I remembered. Ladini Mataji. What is that? Next one. Pashandi means atheist. Okay. Manushye rachite nare aiche granta dhanya Vrindavan dasa mukhe Bhakta Sri Chaitanya. The subject matter of this book is so sublime that it appears that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally spoken through the writings of Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Prabhupada is writing here. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami confirms that what Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote was actually spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he simply repeated. The same holds true for Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in his old age, in an invalid condition. But it is such a sublime literature that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj used to say, time will come, very important statement, time will come when the people of the world will learn Bengali to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. लोग बंगाली पढ़ेंगे चैतन्य चरितामृत पढ़ने के लिए. And you see many Westerners are reading Bengali, right? We are trying to present Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in English and do not know how successful it will be. But if one reads the original Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bengali, he will relish increasing ecstasy in devotional service. वृंदावन दासपदे कोटि नमस्कार ऐच्छे ग्रंथ करीते हो तारिला संसार. Right? Crores of obeisances to the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur because he has written such a book that whole world is delivered. Narayani Chaitanyara Uchishta Bhajana Tara Gharve Janmila Sri Dasa Vrindavana. So Narayani eternally eats the remnants of the food of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was born in a room. So now here the the Sarup of Vrindavan Das Thakur and Narayana is revealed. In Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, a book written by Kavi Karnapur, Gaura Gana Uddesha Deepika means who is this devotee in Krishna Leela. That's what this book talks about. Ambikaya Swasayasin Namna Srila Kilambika Krishnochistam Prabhunjana Seyam Narayani Mata. When Lord Krishna was a child, he was nursed by a woman named Ambika, who had a younger sister named Kilimbika. Ambika and Kilimbika. During the time of Lord Chaitanya's incarnation, that same Kilimbika used to eat the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Kilimbika was Narayani, who was a niece of Srivas Thakur. Later on, when she grew up and married, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was born from a room. A devotee of Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna is celebrated in terms of devotional service rendered to the Lord. Thus we know Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is son of Narayani. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur notes in this connection that there is no reference to his parental ancestry because there is no need to understand it. So who is Vrindavan Das' father is not revealed and not necessary also. Tara ki adbhuta chaitanya charitra varnana Yahara Shravane Shuddha Kailatri Bhuvana. So this amazing Chaitanya Charita is described and it purifies all the three worlds. Atayeva Bhajaloka Chaitanya Nityananda Khandive Samsara Dukha Pave Premananda. Right? So I fervently appeal to everyone to adopt the method of devotional service given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, and thus be freed from the miseries of material existence and ultimately achieve the loving service of the Lord. See, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can see Krishnadas Kaviraj is appealing. Please read my book. I fall at your feet. Please read my book. That's what he is literally writing like that. Whoever is reading this book, I offer obeisances to his feet. That's how Krishnadas Kaviraj was very humbly writing this book. Vrindavana Dasakela Chaitanya Mangala Tahate Chaitanya Leela Varnila Sakala. Right, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has written Sri Chaitanya Mangal and therein describe in all respects pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll read two more. This is in 11th chapter. Vrindavana Dasa Narayanira Nandana Chaitanya Mangala Yeho Karila Rachana. Right, Vrindavan Das Thakur is son of Narayani, Srimati Narayani, composed Sri Chaitanya Mangal. Bhagavate Krishna Lila Varnila Vedavya Chaitanya Lila Tevyas Vrindavana Das. Srila Vyasadeva described the pastimes of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vyasa of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Vrindavan Das. Okay. Now here, Vrindavan Das Thakur Sarupa is revealed. So Narayani was Kilimbika. Now Vrindavan Das Thakur was an incarnation of Vedavyas and also a friendly cowherd boy named Kusuma Pida in Krishna Leela. He is a cowherd boy. So he is in Sakhya Rasa. In other words, the author of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the son of Srivas Thakur, is Narayani, was a combined incarnation of Vasudeva and cowherd by Kusuma Pida. There is a descriptive statement by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his commentary on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, giving the biographical details of the life of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So if you read Chaitanya Bhagavata, there Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur elaborately writes about. Usually Bhagavatam commentary, Chaitanya Bhagavata commentary is given by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Prabhupada did not give that commentary to Chaitanya Bhagavata. Prabhupada wrote to Chaitanya Charitamrita to give commentary. Okay, so we can pray to Vrindavan Das Thakur on this auspicious day so that he blesses us, so that we can get more faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas, and then we can also surrender to Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu in the mood of servant of the servant, and then we can also get the strength to share this message with others. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any comments, questions? Prasannatma Guru, Chaitanya Prasad Guru. Yes? Something? So we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.